Who's to say? On his toes, leading them in, and they're off. Racing for the Who's Bank consultancy Maiden, running to the first of the 18 fences. Who's to say? He's taken quite a keen hold, is clear as they reach the first, with the whole field safely over in behind. Villamora was the last to jump the first. Piper's Tune is prominent as they approach the first turn. Who's to say going clear of Tom Flynn and Mind the Child. You race second and third. Piper's Tune, Des J, the New Kid, Lockdown Ludo, all handy. Gentleman Sam behind those as they clear fence number 2. Don Constable's runner belted the second fence, Mind the Child. And Who's to say is establishing a clear lead. Villamora's last of all and already detached. They turn into the straight and on their way towards fences 3 and 4. Who's to say clear, pursued by Tom Flynn, the New Kid, Lockdown Ludo, Mind the Child, up the inside, as they all file those over fence number 3. Villamora being left a long way behind, but she is a thorough stayer, should be keeping on at the finish when the others have, many of the others have cried enough. On their way to the 4, Who's to say, with a slightly reduced advantage from Tom Flynn and the New Kid and Lockdown Ludo on the outside, who touchdown second. They're all getting out over it. Villamora far from convincing, right at the back of the field as they race up in front of us and on towards fence number 5. Led by Who's to say from the New Kid, Lockdown Ludo, and Mind the Child on the inside in 4th. Des J next, then Tom Flynn, Champion Chase, Piper's Tune, Gentleman Sam. After those Inviction, the Whistleblower gets a reminder after jumping the 5th fence. Villamora remains very much the back marker. Red Opium is in rear, so too is Multipede as they come to jump the 6th. Who's to say from Lockdown Ludo on the outside of the New Kid, and all out over that one safely. Now to the ditch. Mind the Child continues to chase the leaders with Des J. Champion Chase creeping closer on the inside of Gentleman Sam, then Tom Flynn, Piper's Tune and Inviction from the Whistleblower. Mind the Windows is behind those as they jump the open ditch. Red Opium well back in the field, only has Villamora, who's 10 lengths adrift of the rest behind. Circuit covered, running to the 8th. Who's to say will lead over it from the New Kid, Lockdown Ludo out wide, Des J close up between the pair, Champion Chase and Mind the Child are both handy going into the next turn. Gentleman Sam chasing the front rank in front of Tom Flynn, then follows Inviction and the Whistleblower and Mind the Windows. Piper's Tune drifting back all the while, then Red Opium and Multipede. Master Matty getting the first mention is 1 from last as they jump the 9th fence, and Villamora remains last of all. Who's to say? At halfway in the Maiden, by a couple of lengths, the Lockdown Ludo, Des J and the New Kid. Then follows Mind the Child and Champion Chase and Gentleman Sam. After those is Tom Flynn as they close in on fence number 10. Who's to say remains in front from the New Kid with a noseband, light blue sleeve jacket on the inside. Villamora's only just jumped the 10th, pretty much tailed off as they come down the home straight towards number 11. Who's to say from Lockdown Ludo, who's charted a wide course throughout. The New Kid and Des J are 3rd and 4th, then Champion Chase and Gentleman Sam. And then comes Mind the Child and the Whistleblower. They're all out over fence number 11. Villamora the last to jump it. Master Matty, Multipede and Piper's Tune are at the back of the main group, who are on their way towards fence number 12. Who's to say Lockdown Ludo and Zach Baker on the outside, upsides the leader. Then the New Kid and Des J, Champion Chase. After those is Mind the Windows making headway under Will Easterby. They all successfully negotiate fence number 12 and run down towards the 3 fences on the side. It's Who's to Say from the new kid, Des J, Lockdown Ludo, Champion Chase, Gentleman Sam, and then comes Mind the Windows, Mind the Child on the retreat. They've all successfully jumped fence number 13, but Piper's Tune is being pulled up after it. And Who's to Say was headed there by the new kid Des J and Lockdown Ludo. Champion Chase has moved into 4th place as they jump the open ditch for the final time. And then comes Who's to Say. We've lost Mind the Windows there. And that one hampered Gentleman Sam, who unseated the rider. We've also lost Red Opium at the open ditch. As the leaders go towards the 4th last, Champion Chase and James King have blasted into the lead now from the new kid in 2nd. Then follows Des J and Lockdown Ludo, and that quartet have dropped long-time leader Who's to Say. Villamora is still jumping, but she is hopelessly tailed off. And the field are well strung out, running towards the 3rd from home. Champion Chase and the new kid are the 2 that are broken clear, jumping 2 out of length between them. 12 lengths to Des J over, a tie at 3rd, Lockdown Ludo, the whistleblower the next 2. Nothing else is coming from off the pace. Tom Flynn is next, but pretty remote, just waiting for Villamora to jump 3 out. She's over it safely. So we 2 to jump in the Maiden. The front pair have the race between themselves, starring accidents. Both are being ridden. Champion Chase and James King over the second last, 2 or 3 lengths in front of the new kid and Dale Peters, who's hard at work. The whistleblower has plugged on into 3rd in front of Des J. Lockdown Ludo ran well for a long way, but that was pulled up before 2 out as the leading pair head between the last 2 fences. Champion Chase is the leader, pursued by the new kid, and then the whistleblower about 12 lengths behind them. Champion Chase over the final fence, a length and a half, 2 lengths up on the new kid, whose finishing effort is usually weak. It's Champion Chase, a 10-year-old maiden who's beginning to flag, and the new kid is rallying, running up towards the line. Champion Chase under James King, all out, but I think it's just held on. Champion Chase, the new kid, clear of the whistleblower, who was plugging on at the death. The long gap to Des J in 4th, and then came Master Matty nearest at the finish. Mind the Children and Tom Flynn were finishers, but everything else is pulled up in the